all, you had to be happy that your Eagles actually won a game.
Nah.
What?
I want a good draft pick.
Oh, stop. You still want a couple wins here and there. You potentially, the Eagles might have 3.
It's against the Lions, so if we can stay in good competition against other teams like the Chiefs, where we were slowly coming back, with Chargers this weekend, like I would like us to be in these games and close, but
right.
I need the Eagles to have, I think they'll end up having 2 top 10 picks, which will be great for us.
Well, what happens if the Colts bench Carson Wentz? I mean, think about that.
I don't then want to ever hear another person talk about when the Eagles benched Jalen Hurts last year against your Giants for the higher draft pick.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what they would be doing.
How do you think I feel? Yeah. Eagles had the Chargers, Broncos, Saints, Giants, Jets. You got some winnable games. I mean,
I think last time I saw the strength of schedule, we have the easiest remaining strength of the schedule for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they might win 4 or 5, 6 games.
They win 6 games, and what are they, 3-5 right now? And season
that's
9 and 8.
Yeah. Well, no, I meant total. I don't see them winning 9 or 10 games. No,
I don't see them winning that.
I don't see them beating the Chargers. They can probably beat Denver. I don't see them beating the Saints.
No.
I think they split with the Giants. I can see them beating the Jets and split with Washington. There's 6 wins right there. Yeah, 6 wins right there. So
6-11 season.
Do you think that Sirianni gets another year?
Yes, but I don't want him to have another season.
So you want him out after this year?
I didn't want him as our head coach.
Well, I know, but he is the head coach.
I wanted Deuce Staley as our head
Right.
coach. Who had the respect of the locker room.
Yeah.
Last year, players respect him.
Yep.
The fan base respects him and loves him. I don't know why he wasn't even considered really a candidate. I think he deserves a head coaching gig in this league.
Interesting you said that, because it was something that I brought up at the top of the hour. And if you remember, I think he got to the point where he kept getting overlooked, and I think it really bothered him. There's a lot. I'll tell you another name out there. I also think that the kid from Dallas, the offensive coordinator,
Moore?
Yeah, the former quarterback, yeah.
Well, I'm also surprised the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs hasn't really been given a shot. Eric
Bieniemy.
Yeah. There's a lot of
very good. Yeah, no doubt.
Giving shots, and it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no doubt. But Deuce is definitely he's certainly a viable option, I think, going forward. But the NFL, I think you still ultimately you have to have players, you have to have talent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which. I mean, look,
unless you have Bill Belichick's system that just makes players great.
Really?
No. I mean, like, Wes Welker really wasn't much. Amendola, Edelman.
No, he turned. Well, yeah, absolutely.
He turned these guys into
Amendola, Welker, Edelman. Yeah, he finds it's almost like the plug and play.
Yeah,
he finds these guys. If you're an Eagles fan, I still believe you got to take a little umbrage with Howie Roseman and some of the draft picks over the years. You can't always blame it on the players, but you can blame it on the person and the personnel who's making those decisions.
Well, I think it was when we won our Super Bowl, Howie was not drafting. It was Joe Douglas.
Yep.
And he was bringing in these talented guys. Howie was just working the contracts.
Yeah, well, he was a numbers guy. That's what he wanted to do, right?
So I think if we could start that again, because I think Howie is good with working out contracts to help us. We just need somebody to draft much better, because our draft picks over the last 10 years, it seems like we haven't hit on anything.
Yeah, so...
Besides, I think Lane Johnson and Zach Ertz had Chip Kelly's first year as head coach.
So I don't know if you read this or you heard this one. So there has been some smoke surrounding the Eagles courting Russell Wilson. There's been a little smoke. And there's a couple, I guess, thoughts out there that because the Deshaun Watson is off the table, Wilson's not happy. with Seattle. He's not happy with the direction of the franchise. That line has him chasing around all over the place. But I thought it was interesting that I think it'll be a crazy. Think about this free agent period after the season. Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Aaron Rodgers. They can all now. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need money, but Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson might look at Matthew Stafford and say, you know what, he did it the gentleman way. He went to the Lions brass. He requested a trade, and it just so happened it's a perfect fit for him in the Rams. And maybe Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers kind of play that card. So I'm not trying to get anyone's hopes up, but all I'm saying is if you think about it, Watson's situation is still very much in flux, and it's unresolved because of the sexual assault allegations. The Eagles can stockpile picks.
Yes.
So think about that. If you can stockpile picks, then maybe you're in play for a quarterback like Russell Wilson, essentially, or perhaps if you have 3 top 20 first-round picks.
Well, I think you were talking about this yesterday with Lloyd, I believe. I think it was Rodgers is going out west. I don't think that will happen. I think either Rodgers or Wilson end up in Pittsburgh.
You think so?
I think one of them will be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Big Ben's done. I don't think this draft class has much quarterback talent behind it. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to reach on somebody. I think they're going to try and trade for a
So you think that means
quarterback.
That Roethlisberger's done after this year. So you're saying, if anything, you can see one of those quarterbacks landing in Pittsburgh.
I don't see it being Watson. I only see it being Wilson or Aaron Rodgers, where they would be under a head coach who has a lot of respect in this league. They have talent around them with Najee Harris, Juju, who is on his contract year. I think they have enough around there where either quarterback would be happy to go out there.
What about Rodgers to Denver?
I don't see him wanting to go there just because there's not a lot there for him to work with.
Yeah,
the running backs aren't there.
You don't need the money.
No, neither of them need the money.
No, you don't need the money at this point. It's pretty interesting little take there.
And I don't want to see the Eagles go for either of them.
But I think they will.
I don't understand why we would when we don't have our O-line's old.
Yeah, but because you don't have a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is not the franchise quarterback.
He's not the franchise quarterback, but
so
I'd rather give him one more year possibly.
But why? When you can get
to show some talent behind him, and if we trade him for somebody else in the near future, other than somebody who's older.
So wait a second. If I said you can trade draft picks and sign Rodgers or Russell Wilson,
well, who are they going to be throwing the ball to?
Well, you still have. I mean, look.
Devontae Smith has looked good. Rager,
Goddard. You get back Sanders.
If we run the ball with him,
but you might not have to. If you have Aaron Rodgers back there, you don't have to focus on the ground game so much. The ground game is to alleviate pressure for Jalen Hurts. That's what's so.
But do you think even if we got Rodgers, are the Eagles still a playoff caliber team now?
I think any
but with
team.
That defense, we're going to be drafting defense if we keep all picks.
Listen, I hear everything you're saying. I think any team that sticks Rodgers under. Perfect example. That game was essentially a pick-em. Rodgers is out now. That line moved 7.5 points. Name me another player in the NFL that can move a line like that. He is the one guy. I know you can't lose your starting quarterbacks, but he's the one guy that there's a franchise that can ill afford to lose their starting quarterback. It's the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and I think you stick him on another team, even the Philadelphia Eagles, they're winning 9-10 games. I honestly believe that.
I think that's enough in the NFC now to make a wild card, but do you think that could be Dallas if Dallas shows her real deal this year?
It's all speculation. I'm just saying, if he's there and they have assets and draft picks, I got news for you. They're going to make a move for him.
I don't see why we wouldn't. I mean, it would be nice to have a quarterback of that caliber finally in Philly for however many years it's been that we haven't had somebody like that.
Well, you thought you had it in Carson Wentz, and then, of course, Nick Foles. I mean, think about this. Nick Foles had 27 touchdowns, 2 picks when he was 24.
Yeah.
He had 7 touchdown passes against the Raiders in 1 game.
I think that was on this day like 7 years ago, too. I think I saw that on
Twitter. Yeah, so
they
turned around, and they gave him the one late, okay? That's all. But other than that, he's, and he had to run, obviously, and winning the Super Bowl, don't get me wrong, which was fantastic, and MVP the whole 9 yards. His career stunk.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Every else, the Rams, Kansas City, back to Philadelphia, it just hasn't panned out. They thought Foles would have been the answer. Now, any quarterback that has a Super Bowl ring and MVP, hey, wonderful. Go ahead.
Yeah.
More power to you. But my point is, every team thinks that they have a franchise quarterback. I believe the Eagles are one of those rare teams that, to a man, understand they don't have a franchise quarterback.
He hasn't proven he's a franchise quarterback yet.
But how many more games are you going to give him?
Well, like you were saying before the season started, he's still essentially a rookie quarterback.
So I'm giving you 17 games.
Has he, though, looked horrible throughout the season?
I think
has he shown he's better than what a lot of people have expected out of him? Because I don't think he's played worse. He's had some bad games this year, but he's also had some good games.
Yeah, your point is saying, how do you still judge him on that? I'm going by if Rodgers and Wilson or Watson are available. That's what I'm going by.
I don't think we end up getting Watson.
Yeah, but you still have to entertain it.
That's if he can ever play another snap in the NFL.
Listen, if they're healthy, why would you not want them in? I would do that. If I'm the Giants, I would get rid of Daniel Jones for Aaron Rodgers.
I would be surprised if maybe you get a new GM and
but you get a new GM. Guess what? You're getting a new quarterback because the GM's not married to the quarterback.
No, so I wouldn't be surprised. You get a new GM, you're going to end up with a new quarterback.
Well, they might give him one more year because then what happens is right now you go through 1, 2, 3. You get rid of the coach. That's 4 coaches, 3 GMs, and then essentially another quarterback in 2 to 3 years. That's not a very good look. That's when you become one of those really goofy franchises.
Like the Eagles with a new quarterback every 3 seasons.
Well, listen, you go back, and Doug Peterson told at the time Sam Bradford, if you play well, you don't have to worry about Carson Wentz looking over your shoulder. And it just so happened that a quarterback goes down in Minnesota. So what do they do? Right, so they make the trade, they get the assets, and insert Carson Wentz, who played like an MVP before he got injured.
Yes, absolutely did.
So these franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees, which makes my argument even stronger. If you can get one of these veteran Hall of Fame quarterbacks, even if it's for a year or two. How many people thought Tom Brady was going to go to Tampa last year? I was not one of them. At his age, new coordinator, new type of offense, and then they basically just ran roughshod through the season and the NFL and won the Super Bowl. Would you have taken a flyer? I mean, think about that. If I said you can have that type of season, why would you not take it?
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I think the draft picks we have right now are going to matter so much more, considering our defense is not there. Slay is 30.
Yep.
Nelson's on a contract year.
Yep.
Fletcher Cox is getting older. He's going to be done in a couple years. Brandon Graham's almost done.
I'd sacrifice it to make a run. John McMullen brought this up yesterday. Look at the Rams. We're telling you we're going – now, granted, they have a very good defense.
Yeah.
Playmakers. We're telling you we're going for it right now.
They already had the team that could go for it. Now, we don't even have.
Hold on a second.
That.
How did they get that team? What was the one big move?
Stafford trade.
The quarterback.
They were just a quarterback away, though. It's different when you're multiple pieces away.
Quarterback away is huge, though.
That is huge. But I'm saying, away is everything. When you have Aaron Donald already on a team, Jalen Ramsey, you have 2 solid wide receivers in Kupp and Woods, an average tight end, above average with Higbee. They were one piece away from that Super Bowl run. Jared Goff somehow got you there, but that was off of the defense mostly.
Yeah, and the offense didn't do squat in the Super Bowl.
No. So I think it's more or less, are you a piece away where the Bucks maybe they were just that piece away from Tom Brady being inserted in there. The Eagles are more than one piece away from winning another Super Bowl.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is, if you can make a move and it's there for you, I would totally entertain it, and draft picks be damned. I don't care at this point, because these opportunities to win are very hard. That's all I'm saying. They're very, very, very hard to win in the NFL.